Welcome back to Karth on the edge of the Vinfall solar system in Nirvana sector. We're gonna skip. We're gonna skip around. Okay, so we are moving forward in time. I wouldn't usually do this, but you got bills to pay, and I just want to make sure when we have a chance to play the module when everybody gets back, we're doing that because I'm having fun with the module. I just want to see what happens with it. So that would put us at 169. I'll forward it 2 weeks. Say 3 weeks because you're going to go out and back wherever that ends up being. So you're going to have to account for about 2 mortgage payments by the end of this because you'll have the second mortgage payment and the previous one. Of course, you have the money, but we're going to see if you can make it up tonight. Now, in the meantime, we don't know the outcome of what happens on Karth. So this is kind of in the future. It's kind of interesting. But
all of us have eye patches now. We're all missing legs.
An alternate universe version.
All blown up.
Yeah, we all have goatees. We've turned evil.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're the alternate Rikers where our captain got killed.
Solomon, Admiral, Baron, Doctor, Engineer, Chief Engineer Solomon. What happened? Were you here when they found? Yeah, you were here in the cave. Let's skip back to that. Just tell us what happened when you came to Karth and up to what you found in the cave.
Oh, well, Solomon here. Bookie using his low passage, you get to Karth, because he don't want to use his like vet benefits with his high passage yet. That's his get out of town ticket. Guarantee. But yeah, he was just trying to lay low for a while, just try and make some money, doing odd jobs, side businesses, being like a bouncer at some of the places in Karth. Just trying to get a lay of the land. Eventually, he hooked up with these heroic people. And
you mean degenerates?
oh no! You guys are like, he would not hook up with any degenerate. You guys are great, and he enjoys his time. And he sees that you guys are potential war hero material if we have to use this nuclear option for the AI, which is his main reason for coming here.
You guys are doing things to try to make money, but let's skip ahead to the cave. What happened in the cave?
Cave? Wow. Last thing I remember about the cave is we had our good pal Huel leading us to this cave that's supposedly full of Weegoi. And, well, we heard some chittering and some noises. And when Huel went to go check out to see if the passage was safe, he got dragged. We chased in after him, weapons ready. When we got in and found our lovable guide, he was just an empty meat suit, skin suit.
He was missing the meat, I think.
Yeah, he was missing the meat. He became brain bug food. And whatever the heck we found, it was not good. And so we decided to exterminate it.
I want to put it on the record. I have footage to back this up. That creature pleaded for its life and expressed fear verbally in our language before you guys lit it up.
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe it deserves it.
Telling
Maybe
us
that was.
to leave.
I just have to note.
Killed one of us.
I have to note Glenn's a fellow enjoyer of the blockbuster hit, well-known movie Starship Troopers 2. A fellow man of culture, I see. Glenn.
Oh, I've not seen that.
It's not bad.
Is that like a direct video? Like
it's real
bad. It's direct to
I love
video.
it though.
It's all right.
Don't feel bad. My profile picture on Discord is Zeb from Zardoz.
Only the
So-
most prestigious of cinema.
Right?
So, okay, so you guys killed this totally malignant culprit, evil alien, of course, and but then what did you find in the cave ultimately?
We found what was called Weegoy? A Weegoy corpse?
Well, you made a
That we could
Weegoy
produce-
corpse. You made one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what the
that
creature
was
was.
Weegoy.
Yeah, we made it. We made a corpse. We made
Okay,
But
it
there were
into a
people
corpse.
as well.
We found
I
like
know
a digestive
by
area
saying
that could produce
I know by
stuff.
saying that there were people that now unfortunately implies that I'm saying the Weegoy is not people, but
The
Well,
Weegoy
I
is
mean,
Well, it's
not a
not
person.
anymore. I don't think.
it's
Well, I don't know how that works actually. I don't know. Let's see if we discover the mysteries of this universe. Anyways, yes, you killed this alien. It's in the cave. You know
Yeah.
that the remains of these things, but ancient remains of them, are ground up and turned into this drug. It's worth a ton of money. But you found something else. So I want to note that you found and we kind of like went through the cave really fast because we were running out of time, and so we just, this is something you would have found further down the tunnel where these people were.
Oh
Near-
yeah, the
near-
translucent people.
You found the translucent people, and nearby was a colony of polyps. These are Weegoy babies.
Oh my god, can we make poplars?
So,
oh no.
um, yeah, this stuff is worth an astronomical amount of money. Because this is the very like you could literally, infinitely produce this hypothetically if you had the right tech, right? So,
Oh man.
so you all decided to leave this stuff in the cave, and we won't resolve what happened after that. We're going to say this is in the future, and you all have made the decision to do stuff with that, what's in the cave. So here you are. You're in Larstown.
Yeah. Before the war. Yeah. Or after the war. I don't know.
We're not sure. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
what the status of the local mercenaries in charge of this place is.
But for the purpose of tonight, the status of this place is how you left it sans the governor. So this place is ran now by the MEF.
Oh
So-
yeah.
So here you are again at the Desperado Karaoke Bar in the town of Larstown. And this stuff is in the cave. You know that the MEF controls the elevator and takes a tax on whatever you're trying to bring up the elevator. Between you and your starship that's been tethered up there for the better part of a month is a orbital laser platform that is this antediluvian alien technology that shoots stuff at a certain altitude and then anything that enters the atmosphere. So, how are you going to get the stuff? How are you going to get it past that? I'll throw out a random game mechanic as we go here. If you're trying to find a market, it should be obvious to your travelers that trying to sell it here would be nuts. Like, first of all, the place is small, and there's the disparity here is you got the people that run things, and then like people that are barely getting by, and one of them's just going to take it, and the other one is just like, I don't know. So like
They
this
can't
isn't
afford it, yeah.
this is not a market, and to know where to go, if you get to that point, you would go to a common municipality called a starport authority, or yeah, and you would just go to the space elevator, and there's a place there that you can look onto star charts and decide where you want to go, and it'll give you basic information about nearby destinations. So, and with that, I throw it over
Okay.
to the crew captain.
All right, crew. I think we're we're pretty set on we want to smuggle this stuff and sell it at a more lucrative market, so that way we can make potentially millions, according to our referee. We're all on the
Yeah.
same page about that?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We could take the polyps and we can just put it in like a Solomon's room, and we can have our own RV here and just start
So
producing this stuff.
I threw out a suggestion earlier in the chat about how we can go about smuggling this, and I just want it on the record. And if anyone wants to add to this or have a different suggestion, we might load up some of our cargo bay with meat supply, like beetle camel or something like that, as
Yeah.
though we were shipping just beef. Not and then just disguise all of our Weegoy corpse and polyps and stuff like that among all of that, and just make sure it's packaged well.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, like a
ju-
turducken.
yeah, like a let's say the dwarfs under the fish kind of a deal.
Yeah. We
So
just,
we could cut open actual beef and then stuff it inside like a tauntaun.
yeah.
We
yeah.
could tauntaun, and I like that idea better. We can do that. And if
Yeah.
you need someone to talk, Solomon can be your guy if you need to. Just
Now,
throwing
Ross,
that out.
question for you. I don't know how customs works if you're moving cargo, the nitty gritty of it. Do they inspect it? Do they come on board? Do they scan your ship at all and get something like an X-ray?
This is not a large town, so you just you take a gander outside where there's a big cargo elevator. You can see that the space elevator itself is actually part of this very large structure here. So there are guards in the interior. They have a cargo board and a starport authority that they've set up. They have, what's not depicted here is they have like a small elevator that you came down. They also have like cargo and goods elevator. So like you can move tonnage up in like pallets.
So we pass it off onto that elevator and it gets sent up to our ship's cargo hold.
Yeah, if you find that you want to move cargo or you make a purchase here, that's exactly how it would work. Yeah.
And I imagine at our destination, which hopefully will be a higher class starport, since I imagine that's where we're going to get a better deal for this stuff. It would be a similar process where they unload it from our hull, and then we probably have to declare what we're bringing in.
So that's something you wouldn't know, but if you wanted to get hints to it, you would go to the Starport Authority and take a look at the star charts, and you can do that if you want.
Okay. Can we check out this Starport Authority research stuff without having to actually go up the elevator and pay the price, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So
We can Google it, the Karth version of Google.
Well, we do definitely. Before anything else, we actually might want to have an idea of our destination first, because
Yeah.
it might be hard to believe that anywhere in the universe would buy food from a desert planet like this. I don't know how much of a beef market is made on Karth that actually is relied on, but maybe there's something else we can disguise it as.
yeah, and you actually have only one option for that. So this is, and I'll just kind of keep throwing out some mechanics as we go here. There are two economic options. There are other things that go on in the game, but there are only two that are relevant here. One is called standard cargo. In this case, the authorities here have kind of mandated what the standard cargo is and where it's going. That's not always the case if you go to a larger starport, but they only go to a place jump 1 from here at a solar system called Ether. And at Ether there's a world called Manny, and it's actually the governmental authority for this colony. You would have to take the full load, which would take up your full cargo space. That's not to say you couldn't put small objects in staterooms and such. But anyways, the other option is what we call speculative trade, which is you buy whatever you want, and you buy it, and you go wherever you want, and you sell it to whoever you want. And you can do that anytime, anywhere, with anything you find.
Now, Ross, you had mentioned this in chat earlier about the former option of just doing like normal, regulated cargo shipments from here to Mani and back again. Would we have to fill the stateroom with MEF authorities or anything like that, or is that just like you were laying that out as an additional option for making more money?
Yeah, essentially, if you take a standard cargo, they want you on a contract to go to Manny. Like, that's kind of what it's for.
I had a feeling. I wouldn't honestly attempt smuggling something under those circumstances because I think that the risk is way too high. There's going to be a much more scrutiny on us doing something like that.
Yeah. There's two things I'll point out here at the starport that's worth looking at. One is the solar system you're in is the most dense solar system in the sector in terms of bases in the rimward portion of the system, or of the sector. So there are kind of 3 dust ball worlds, and then you have where you are, which is like way out in the middle of nowhere. This is a full 30 astronomical units. That's like 2 weeks at thrust 2 from the primary world. There's a big military base for the Federation here that Solomon would know about called Helios, which is a major naval and scout kind of waypoint in the asteroid belt and in the solar system's belt. But anyways, the prime world is around this gas giant called Tiuncum, and they have the major primary world is called Free City, which is like a corporate free trade zone world. That is to say, like a, cyberpunk dystopia. Like, it's just like a bunch of corporations.
So that's where we sell our drugs. That's where
and
the
then,
market is for it.
And then there's like a zero law high port called Heaven's Edge, which is like where all the kind of free traders go and load up from there.
Space Bangkok.
Yeah, or like Narshada, and
Yeah.
and anyways, I'll point that out. The other thing, just as a quick once over here, is actually I should point this out too. I think this will be important. The solar system is approximately 35 astronomical units across. You are nearly fully that away from the primary world. Now, there's nothing that keeps you from doing an interplanetary jump, that is to say, jumping. But you could also set sail for like 2 or 3 weeks, and you could just like stay interplanetary and keep the jump fuel if you need it. Jumps will always.
Can you jump within the system, like from one point to another?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, these distances are so vast. Like there's nothing. This is just space. So I see.
Yeah, but
the book says that basically there are safe jump distances. So to me, there's absolutely no constraint other than the fact that it doesn't even talk about occlusion, right? Like if a certain body occludes another body. So long as you're a safe jump distance from Tabernus, you're good.
Well, okay, interstellar travel makes use of the jump drive. It specifies that. So in contrast to the section talking about interplanetary travel, where it never once mentions the jump drive, I'm reluctant to try attempting use of it at this scale. Because you're right, obviously this is a huge distance. But the jump drive is normally like for covering parsecs, not,
Well, you have nearly a portion of a parsec going on here, actually. This is actually pretty good. Like a parsec is what 2 light years or something like that, and this is being 30 astronomical units across. We're talking pretty relative math here, and billions of kilometers. So, but anyways, what you're saying is true. However, I usually take the most liberal interpretation of these open rule sets. So if it doesn't say I can't do it, I often will say you're good to go. But so I'm going to rule that here, that you can in fact do it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, there are 4 systems that the Starport Authority shows basic trade data and UPP data on. this Class C abandoned port, which you can see has is a small planet, very little law, very little population. This is a red zone. However, there's a note about this red zone for a travel advisory. There's what's called travel codes, and there are two types, red and amber. It's peculiar that there's a red zone with an advisory, because usually that would be an amber zone. But what it's saying is that you can still come here and land, but you would do it by contacting them and coming under military escort to come only to the low port. And you can come and trade at the low port, but if you go anywhere else, you enter the red zone. So there's sort of like a corridor as far as the security for the red zone. Lastly, there's also Bountiful, which is Bountiful is a Class A starport, 50% water. It's got thousands of people, which is not a lot, and not a super high security level. To make the most out of trade on the way back, what you want is a high population. Aether is actually the solar system that has the planet Mani, which is the homeworld. So anyways, those are your options here.
Okay. And could I quickly take a look again back at the Vinfall system?
Yeah, and by the way, I guess I didn't actually cover the UPP. You can see it here, and that UPP is based on the Prime World. Right off. It's high pop. So, and that high pop is based on Free City.
I hate to labor the point and ask this, but how many planetary diameters are we from any of these worlds here in the Vinfall system?
Sure. Yeah, no, you mean as far as not doing a misjump, right? Yeah.
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 I know there's a difference between what's technically possible and what's actually feasible without taking on ridiculous risk, and that's my main concern.
A single AU is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So when you compare that distance, billions of kilometers, to the 5 planetary diameters necessary for a safe jump, there's no risk involved at all. Also, I apologize. This UPP is incorrect. That's an old one. The actual UPP is much better. It's got travel codes: industrial, rich, and agriculture, with high pop.
Okay.
And a corporate government.
I think that's a lot of info to work with. Crew, what do we think? Where do we think we want to try to unload this stuff, and what's our plan?
I mean,
No,
I'm
you also
thinking
have to
first,
actually get it, and you have to get it back, and then you have to get it up to the ship. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, one step at a time.
I'm thinking maybe Free City myself.
Yeah, let's Free City. Let's go to Space Bangkok. Like, there's nothing bad that can happen there.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the other places we could jump to, and I'm like, I don't want to have a police escort to one of them. That sounds like it would suck, and is also again risky. Don't want to go to Mani. Bountiful sounds lovely, but
It sounds lovely. This sounds like it's the Naboo of this system.
I'm also thinking that a high population not just is going to be necessary to make our money back when we leave, like Ross said, but also, to me, that sounds like a necessary prerequisite just for like having a significant market to buy super illegal drugs.
Right.
That's true. Bigger market there.
I assume that most drug deals in rural areas happen between people who already know each other and have a long-standing arrangement. But we're going to be trying to sell this to a stranger, so we want to go to the big city.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go to the big city. Let's go to the Big Apple. We'll start our little gang there, and we'll come back to Karth later on. And then after that, we should head back to Bountiful and see how our operations go.
It's been given the blessing by our referee, so I say that we should try to do a jump towards Free City so we don't have to just be sailing for weeks. And I think that means that we now have to move on to the actually tackling the question of how we're going to get this stuff onto our ship.
What's the main shipment to Free City?
Yes.
Do we know
Ross,
that, or
is there any outgoing cargo that would be going there, or like you said, it's just stuff that goes to and from Manny?
Actually, something that is kind of out of place here, and it's not hard to hear people even talk about it, is you've heard that there was a ship on a contract with this world that would do regular shipments to Manny, and it stopped doing those shipments. So they actually have too much cargo, and it's somewhat of one of the many crises that this place faces. So ships have not been coming.
Okay, interesting.
But that stuff was the stuff that was meant for Manny, right?
That's right.
What would happen if we took it off their hands, but then took it to Free City? Is that like a huge breach of
Yeah, you'd
why
be a
we would be
criminal.
trusted?
You'd be stealing stuff.
All right, let's not do that.
Which you can do. You know?
I mean,
I don't, because
could
we're probably going to
do
come back
that.
here, I think. Well, are we going to come back here?
I mean,
We got to finish this
Is-
off before we go to
Yeah, we
Space
got-
Bangkok.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm tempted to just stay in Space Bangkok. We can form our own space triads. It'll be fine.
Dude, that'd be
I
awesome.
mean, do we think that we are going to come back to Karth after this? We get rid of all of these drugs.
I'll do it like I don't want to mess things up too much for you. I'll say there are things you will probably learn soon that may affect that decision you don't know, which is part of the problem of having things in the past. That ultimate decision may be, we'll never go to that damn place again, or it might be, oh my gosh, we have to get back here because of blank, and I don't know the result yet.
I'd rather reserve the option of being able to not be criminals on Karth so we can return.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be taking some
Okay.
cargo to Free City, I guess we should probably either do speculative trade or at least pretend to be doing speculative trade. I mean, we
Yeah.
are doing speculative trade. We're
Yeah,
trying to
if we
sell
have-
this Weegoy corpse and its polyps. Like, that is.
Yeah, that is
But we need
speculative.
we need a cover story for something else that we're pretending to be selling there.
I don't think we
assume-
need. I don't think we need to take any passengers though.
No.
Not
Yes,
passengers. We might need to hire temporary crew members, but I definitely
Yeah.
don't think passengers, because we're staking a lot on being able to sell these drugs, and if it pays off, we should be fine. Like, we should be doing real well, and no amount of passengers we might take on is going to make up for how much we'll be losing if we don't manage to sell this.
Just,
Okay, I got the best idea ever, and it's probably not going to work, but whoever we bring up, when on our way back, once we get to Karth, before we land, we could remove their kidneys and just keep them in
Why?
low birth.
why?
Why?
Because this is before our kidneys were removed for the truth
Oh, yeah,
saying
yeah.
cube. Yeah.
Okay,
So we could.
fine. One kidney,
Don't.
not both.
No, Ross. We're skipping ahead in time, right?
Yeah, this is forward in time.
Oh.
That's right.
Dang it! So we're
But-
already missing
but-
the kidney. Never mind.
We could take a kidney. I mean, you never know when we need a kidney.
You guys
That's-
parted with your kidneys willingly. You do not get to complain about it now.
So
You do
Doesn't
not get to
matter.
jeopardize this crew because you're desperate for a kidney.
I also want to warn you all that you may run out of time to complete the job tonight, which is part of the regular open table
Yeah,
setup.
let's get
Uh,
on to this.
So this is a good point, though, is the next thing is, all right, we need a cover, and you need actual cargo to make it look legit. So to do that, you enter one of the mini gun games that make up Traveler. It's actually kind of distracting. I've got, like, explosions going off. It's fun, though. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Let's see. Called the Trade and Commerce, the speculative trade minigame. Now, a couple of things about this minigame. The first thing is that it requires you to make the purchase. Another thing I'll throw out that's gameplay conventions is Chapman is footing the bill for this entire thing, not necessarily for this though. So somebody can make this purchase if you want, or you could split it up or figure it out later and pay the crew or whatever you want to do. But the bill to actually pay for the fuel and the life support and all that stuff is the chap, and we'll work this out later. But my thought is he should also get the bulk of the profit for that reason because he's got a starship
That's
and
fine.
everything.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's the one who owns this or co-owns this. So yeah.
But if this works out, that won't matter because you'll get a lot of profits.
We'll all have a good payday, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyways, you have to purchase these goods as opposed to them making you space UPS and putting the goods on your ship and you just work for somebody. The second thing is that the crew captain is not the one that has to do this. And you go out to the space elevator and you look around at all these mothballed pallets and all this cargo and stuff that's going bad and it's hurting the economy here. And maybe you look around at some of the stores and you think back at the ranch that you went to and everything. And people have needs. People want to make money, right? And so, holy smokes, it's loud. The starship is, you are the wagon train to make that possible. The starship captain doesn't have to make this deal. And there are two skills that affect this. Bribery and admin, and they affect it greatly. So whoever has either bribery or admin will be overwhelmingly useful in trying to speculate on goods trades.
Would anybody like to raise their hands as a particularly adept briber or administrator? No?
Well, it just so happens. It just so happens that Solomon was, before he was joined and then sometimes forced to stay as a naval officer of various ranks, he in his free time he would take I don't even remember what those phone calls are. He has admin 4 is what I'm trying to say.
All right, that's promising. Actually, I'm now thinking, here's an idea. Okay, so normally, Karth gets a lot of its supplies from Manny, and that's been stalled. And everybody's talking about the outgoing cargo that's just sitting there, rotting and all that. But an equally major problem for them, I have to imagine, is that they're not getting the cargo, the incoming stuff that they would normally rely on.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we can find a different supplier at Free City for whatever the kinds of things are that the people of Karth normally get from Manny. And you know what? Why speculate? Let's just lock in some early buyers. Let's just let everybody around town know, hey, we're heading over to Free City to go pick up some milk and cigarettes. Does anybody need anything while we're out?
Yeah, exactly. Good idea.
That is a
Anyone
great
need some
idea.
kidneys or anyone needs some kidneys or
Do not bring up kidneys. I swear to God.
Anybody need some like cyber arms? Sure,
So-
cyber.
Because everybody's hurting right now for stuff that they wouldn't normally be able to get. So we're just saying, like, we're going to go somewhere else. They might be able to have some of that.
Like kidneys.
So
Yes. Like the devastating dearth of kidneys that struck this community.
there are the things that this place desperately needs. And then there are the things people talk about, and they're two different things. The things that everyone will tell you is indeed cigarettes. Cigarettes, comfort goods,
Everybody needs
liquor.
some ice cream and cigarettes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. What this place really needs are pharmaceuticals. And they desperately need pharmaceuticals. You also happen to know that they desperately need ammunition. And you know why you know that.
Well, okay.
So
now,
those are two things that like don't get talked about, but really are needed, that are going to get paid for.
I know who we would sell cigarettes and booze to, which is basically everyone around town. Who would we sell pharmaceuticals and ammunition to?
Well, the pharmaceuticals we can do to the doctor.
Does he have the capital to buy like a big shipment of that? I don't know if he's like
That you
Well,
you will absolutely make a profit on pharmacy. Well, I shouldn't say you will absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the DM modifiers that you would get under ideal circumstances for pharmaceuticals. That's what it would be.
Okay.
And yeah,
So we can
he would
assume
buy
that we'll
them,
be able to
yes.
find. Yeah. Okay.
As long as you don't roll snake eyes on the sale. Okay, so that was a really great idea. So you have buyers on the way back. As far as sellers, another thing I want to throw out, sounds like Solomon is doing the purchasing of the commodity to bring to market, right? Which, by the way, you might make a great profit on this alone. And it'll fill up most of your hold because this alien body you can just stuff in a stateroom. It doesn't matter. And the polyps. So, the other thing that you can do, Solomon, is you can hire a broker. So you can look for somebody that will act as an intermediary. If you do that, it will give you a dice modifier on top of your admin. So I think your admin is what, a +8?
It is indeed.
Oh my gosh.
The admin 4. Yeah, I think it's +8.
Yeah. So like, yeah, admin. It says administration per level of admin expertise +2. So yeah, 8. So you literally can't not make a profit when you find the right goods. You're basically unstoppable. You literally mathematically can't do it, even on a snake eyes. However, you can make an unreasonably good profit. So one of the the cards you need to decide if you want to play is if you want to spend extra money to hire a broker to ensure a good outcome. Now, what this means is, the way this works is, you can get up to a +4, which will drive, let's say that you roll just an 8 and you get snake eyes. You're going to get a 110% value. It'll be the opposite of that. You'll pay 90%. Okay? You'll pay 90%.
Okay.
So that you'll buy low, sell high, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say that you do the broker, you're going to drop that even 4 lower than that and get 50%. So you're going to buy the goods at 50%, but you're going to pay them 20% of the cost of the goods.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but on the other hand, let's say that, you roll snake eyes and, or let's say you roll a 12 and you have your +8, then you're wasting your money because it won't do you
That's
any
true.
good. And so now you're paying 20% of the goods and you just lost that. So anyways, I don't know if this makes sense, but I can put the math up on the screen, but this is part of the game on the front end.
I need to point out that this is supplemental. This is our cover story for actually
Yeah.
we're going to be selling the drugs.
But you could
Yeah,
make
yeah.
you could also make another 4 million just on this.
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
so
from
I
our
think-
cover story, speculative cargo. So I say we take the risky bet.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
go all in.
exactly.
It's
I
not just
wanna-
about the
yeah,
money.
buy
It's
the
about
broker
a lot
or
of
hire
money.
the broker.
So you want to hire a broker. Okay. So
Of course.
so now when you hire a broker, you can determine their commission. So you can just have a broker to try to hey, I have somebody on this, and it'll give you at a 5% commission a +1, and you can go all the way up to a +4 at a 20% commission. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll buy the highest one, the best I can do, because I can afford it.
All right. Well, you talked to old Calvin Talley.
Calvin, my man.
Yeah, he Larstown. He says, we have a lot of stuff here sitting on the dock. I bet I might be able to get you something real good there, Captain. He doesn't know. He thinks you're the captain. And all right, so the next thing you can do, so you're gonna have a +4 to this roll. Well, you're not gonna do this yet. The next thing is you're gonna determine what he has for you to sell, and you want to roll high. Now, this is a poor world, So the first digit you're going to subtract 1 from. So you're going to roll a d6 and a d6. So like if you roll a 2 and a 5, it's 2, 5. You don't add that.
Okay.
And you're going to subtract 1 from the first digit.
That's 5. Okay, so 5, and then let me roll the second one. A 5, 5.
So was that a 6 and you subtracted 1 from it and got a 5, 5?
Yes,
And you
Oh
got
my
5,
gosh.
5?
I got
Oh my
5,
gosh.
5.
He's like, truth is, and here's the funny thing, they don't know what's coming. And he says,
really?
and Calvin, no, I say that out of character. They don't know what's about to come, but you do. And Calvin, he says, well, truth is, Lord, Lars, when he came down here, he brought all kinds of heavy guns. Lord, and we don't need those heavy guns. What we need them for? They're just sitting there. And
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, the governor, right before she went on to the ocean spirits.
God rest her soul.
Seas take her. Sea spirits take her. She thought we might be able to liquidate all them heavy weapons. So we got a load of heavy weapons that you could take to market. You got one of the higher results. You got armored vehicles.
Oh my God.
Now, one of the bad thing about
NPCs.
the bad thing about armored vehicles is that this is a poor world and they're in need, so they're going to increase the purchase DM by +4. So you're going to be fighting this. Actually, no. This. What is it? No, purchase DM +4. Purchase DM, alter this value based on the world where purchased. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so the fact that it's poor and they're desperate will give you a +4. That's sad.
I have two concerns. One, will it be legal for us to sell these armored vehicles?
Yeah, this is a legal market. This isn't, but you could choose to sell them illegal if you would prefer for a profit.
Granted.
Yeah.
But
Granted.
We could
And then the
keep
second
them
is,
for our
do we
space
have the?
triads.
What? I was gonna say, do we have the cargo capacity? Like, how many vehicles can we fit? We have
So,
82 tons of cargo capacity, I
that
think.
is so it's 70,000 per ton, and that is part of the problem. Is you will only be able to be given 1D tons, and we will find out. But your maximum tonnage is only going to be 6 tons.
Okay.
That doesn't make.
So
a
we'll
lot of-
actually.
doesn't make
That's
a
like
lot of
barely a dent
No,
in
no,
our
I'm sorry.
cargo capacity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You multiply that by 10, though. I think.
There we go.
Oh, so 60 tons. Like a
Yeah.
60-ton tank.
Yeah. Either
Up
way,
to
that
60 tons,
that
yeah.
simply just makes
Yeah.
more sense. That you maybe have like 2 or 3 armored fighting vehicles, like a BMP, and they're 20 or 30
Yeah.
tons each or something.
How much does a tank weigh? I mean,
Yeah, about
We're
90
gonna
tons.
store
Depends on the
an
tank,
alien
but-
corpse in them.
We could. No one's gonna look in the tank.
Man, you guys are gonna go
There's-
out in style when this all goes down in flames, at least. Okay. So, all right. So you got the tanks here. The next part is you need to roll to negotiate for the price. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Now you can tell me what you would tell him if you want, but then I'll tell you. So you rolled 2d6. You're gonna add a +8 and a +4 is 12, and it's a poor world, which makes it up to 16. Actually, it's impossible for you not to get a max result. You wasted your money.
Gosh.
There's no way not to, actually. So
Okay. Well,
I don't know that we would have
know.
known about this deal otherwise, though. That there's tanks that we could just buy and sell.
Well, I'll just tell him, well, I'll take these off your hands if you want and liquidate them for at least the base parts, because Solomon will go over there and like kick one of the treads. These
He-
are looking mighty old, and
he's
I don't know.
he's desperate. He's like, "Oh, thank you, sir. You're the only starship up there right now. This will help us out a lot. We'll get those to market. Well, we don't need those things. What do we need tanks for? What do we?
It's what Lars would have wanted.
Yeah. So
Lars would have wanted it, yes.
So we got 4 of these here armored vehicles. They're 10 tons each, And so it's a total of 40 tons. And I don't know, what is your cargo space? I actually don't know. I can look it up here.
I believe, unless we have some other things are going to reduce this, it should be 82 tons of cargo capacity. I think maybe, though, when we
Right, 82
upgraded our
tons.
computer, that could have
No,
shrunk it down more. But
you're correct. Yeah, so no problem. So, and here is how much you would purchase these for. It's pretty wild. So each tank is 70,000. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to multiply that by 4 for 280,000, and then the whole thing is only 40% of its value. So you're doing a $280,000 purchase for 112,000 credits.
Oh,
That's
okay,
pretty
well,
good.
I'm gonna tell him. Well, I'll take them off your
I-
hands for 80,000.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a deal. It's a deal. It's a deal, Captain. And he takes your credits, and you can have these things. Would you like me to load them up right now? And he's ready to put them on the cargo
Sure.
elevator. Wait.
Why not? Let's get them loaded. Or you know what? Keep one down here. I want to just inspect one, but you can load the rest.
I've never driven
pick
a
it up
tank
for a test
before.
drive.
So are you
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna hold one so that you can put your aliens in the tank?
Yo,
Yeah.
yo.
Better than hacking it up and putting it in briefcases.
Okay, this is getting a little off topic, but Ross, I'm trying to see. I don't see in Foundry of all the previous travelers if Bellamy, he's not listed there. Do you remember if he had admin at all?
He did have admin, and I had those.
Why didn't we do more speculative trade
Yeah.
under Lady of Mercy?
Yeah, so one of the things, I don't want to talk too much about it, but what went wrong, I summed up the game, and I feel strong about this. By month 3 or 4, I said I do all the math and he makes all the decisions, and that was a problem in the game. And so I gave you all the rules, and one of the consequences of that is I just stopped looking at the skills, and I probably said a bunch of stuff
Right.
wrong. And to be honest, admin, it says +2 per skill level. And I don't know, maybe I have it wrong right now, but that's what I just read. So, and then it says admin skill may be used as a DM at the level of the skill. Okay, actually I did that wrong. Because it says a DM at the level of the skill. So does that mean we'll figure it out later? Okay, maybe I did that wrong. It's okay though. To be honest, you were so high above that purchase dice modifier that it frankly doesn't matter anyway. But based on
Under
even your base
Captain
skill.
Bellamy, we only did speculative trade, I think twice, and neither time was it really our intention.
Yeah.
And I'm
In his
this is where it's
defense,
at.
in his
Make
defense,
money.
he was desperately trying to constantly. Both the player and the character were united in their fervent desire to trade, and the game constantly went against him. So that's that.
Mm.
Okay, so you got tanks,
Okay.
and you loaded up 3 of them. They start going up, and up in space. Meanwhile, the MEF are doing an EVA of the cargo containers, and they're putting it into your cargo hold. And you've got tracks up there, you know, your skeleton crew holding your ship or whatever. So, you've got one that you left down here. You've got your stuff in the cave. What do you do next?
Oh, what would you guys like to do, Captain?
If we drove this out to the cave, how long of a trip would that be? Actually,
the
you
sand
must know how to
squids.
drive a tank.
Sand squids, you happen to know, love those things. But apart from
Yeah.
that, and the guy will tell you that, you know, but otherwise he's like, you can ride it right out the gate if you want. We could get filled up for you. And you'll get there in maybe a day or 2 if you drive full speed with a full tank.
I feel like that's a lot faster than when we went on Camel.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
said
we
those
don't have to
before.
risk any of our favorite beetles. Again,
I know.
the main
Um,
the main characters.
Well, I'm going to take out a tape measure and everything, and I'm going to start checking out the internal dimensions of this tank to figure out, like, how can we fit all of us in here or on here, and then all the Weegoy body and
Sure.
all that. Will it all fit together?
Yeah, you're confident that the Weegoy, the polyps, all of you, and your equipment will easily fit in here and have probably twice the space left over.
You know, we might just drive this out to the cave. Say we're taking this for a joyride for a while. This is going to be our last couple days on this planet for some time. We're hoping. So let's have some fun. And if some
Yeah.
squids come after us, we have a tank.
We have a tank.
All right, you were in a 10-ton all-terrain vehicle listed on page 21 of Book 3. It has a max speed of 100 kilometers per hour, which at 100 kilometers per hour means that you could get to the cave in, let me quickly, you could get there in 42 minutes.
Nice.
We were
That's
going
better
max
than a
speed.
3-day drive. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, well, we don't have to go full speed. We can take our time.
Yeah,
We'll get there
yeah.
in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Gotta leave some wiggle room just in case we see a squid coming up the horizon. We can, speed up.
Or turn off the engine.
all right, so you ride this. This is what it looks like.
Mm.
Got a little pod up there, little hatch on the side.
Beautiful.
And who has ATV?
Oh.
Not I.
I do.
All right, so it says
We're able to feel it.
because you do not have ATV skill, you must make an 11+ throw per day to prevent a mechanical breakdown. You already decided, so we're doing this. It's susceptible to off-road difficulties and getting bogged down in sand and mud and jungle growth. Driver expertise will serve as DM at +1 per level to avoid such a difficulty. And additionally, it allows greater speed and maneuverability. And you can diagnose malfunctions in advance and repair them and do preventative maintenance. So you don't have any of those options. But interestingly, you'll notice, like, if you don't have Starship Pilot, you cannot fly a starship. But this one does not say you can't drive an ATV. So here you are in a 10-ton all-terrain vehicle, and you go rolling out the gate if you want.
Yeah.
You start like going through the dunes and like crashing over them and stuff. Which way do you go from here?
Oh boy, it's
You want to
I
just
want to say
beeline it to
north.
the.
It's northeast, I believe. So yes, we're gonna go in a basically straight line.
Straight to the north.
Northeast, I believe, is where the cave is.
Straight northeast. 45
Is that where it
degree
is?
vector.
So,
You move real fast doing that, and you just take off across the terrain, flying over things. You make it about this far, and a couple things happen. First of all, you can see the entrance to the cave off in the distance to the north. Second of all, you can see a strange statue that looks like it was constructed and then partially has fallen apart in the sands to the east. And second of all, we got some rolls to make. First roll is for an alien encounter, which for reasons I will not specify, have to make it twice. Simple enough. And second, who's driving? Radamant?
Radamant, you want
I
to
mean-
drive?
I mean, I've got intelligence of 11.
Anybody can drive it.
Ex-
It's whoever.
Yeah,
that's
you're-
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
I'll drive it.
you're driving this thing. Roll a 2d6, and you do not want to get an 11. 12.
Okay.
Six. There's a 2. 8. Okay. You go like almost 90 degrees up at one point. You like slam back down going, 70 kilometers per hour, whatever it is, through this stuff. It's really bumpy. And no problem. You're able to make it up here. I'm going to make one more roll. No problem. What could go wrong? All right. So here, you make it to the cave. And here you are in the cave. And I need to make a encounter here per hour. So I'm going to make 2. All right, you do have 1 encounter.
Is this ATV armed?
That's a good question. It's a standard ATV, so let me see. It says cruises at 60 on roads, 100 kilometer per hour max speed. Off-road depends on terrain, open plains, maximum speed 20. Okay, so I had that wrong too. My bad. Difficult. I'll do that on the way back. Battery recharged. Any different worlds. Can hold up to 16. Lightly armored, can carry a turret mounting a laser or other local combat weapon.
Ooh.
So
Man.
I'm going to, again, I take that the most liberal interpretation. So indeed, I'm going to say that it has a mounted assault rifle, which is the
Like a light machine gun.
laser machine gun. It does 5d damage.
Ooh.
Okay, so you come up out in front of this thing, go inside the cave, and let's see here. Give me just a second. I should ask, once you get here, what do you leave somebody outside, or how do you approach that?
You can leave Solomon outside to guard with the laser turret.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Solomon, I want you to know, if something happens to us, Lucky Yo goes to books.
Gotcha. Don't take the ship.
There, you find in
Right.
here a person, and things about that person.
Now, again, how are we bestowing personhood? This wouldn't be a Weegoy, is it?
Well, yeah.
It's
If it can speak, it's a person.
It's standard. Okay, it's decent.
this is. Figure out who this. This is Alma. Alma's an old woman. She's been working here for a long time, and she raises her hands shakily as you come in. She's got just like a gardening hat, and then like a LBE vest, like a OD tactical vest with a canteen hanging at her hip and khaki pants. She's got that look where she's starting to look kind of pale, old, and ragged, like she's been under Tiburnus for a long time. She says, and you've seen her, by the way, in the bar.
Yeah.
Hey, I knew you found something in here. I knew you found something in here. And you find her near the polyps.
We didn't find shit.
No, please. Hold on. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me. Go ahead.
I tip my hat to this old lady, and I'm like, calm down. No need to, raise any temperatures over this. How are you doing, Alma? You're still a little on edge.
No, please don't kill me. You don't understand. Just let me speak. Just let me say something. Can I say something?
Go
Please
ahead.
do.
I knew you were here. I've been following you. Please don't kill me. I found out this was here.
Not even touching my weapons.
I can get this past them. And my lips are sealed. I can get this past the beanstalk.
Talk me through it. Explain it to me. I'm liking what I'm hearing so far.
All right. I just want enough. I just want a little bit.
Yeah.
100,000 credits. I get to Free City. I leave. You never hear from me again.
What do you think?
Listen. Hold on. Don't kill me. I'm a smuggler. This is what I do.
Okay, first of all,
I've been getting
stop
stuff.
asking us not to kill you.
I've been getting
Well, you're
stuff past the MEF for years now.
What I want you to do is explain to me what you can do to help us out, what part you're going to play in this process, and convince me that I should take you up on this offer.
It was easier.
That's good.
It was easier when Governor Tanaka was in charge. I know with her dead now, it's going to get real tight real fast. That's why I got to get off this planet. They're going to figure out what I've been doing for years now. But some of them MEF are dirty. Let me see their name. Archie and his name. Eli? And those are the two people that like swap the dude on the chair.
Oh
And-
yeah, those guys. Yeah, they're good guys.
Yeah, they are good guys. And they work with me to get stuff off world all the time.
Okay.
I
So,
give
you
them
know
some
some
money.
guys.
So I need a little bit of money up front. I give them the money at night. We do a one-way shipment. You get off the ship. All the paperwork will be taken care of. No problems.
Now, we actually already have something in mind, and you being an expert, maybe you can explain to me what the tragic flaw in our current plan would be. That would be our downfall. So, we already have some of our vehicles loaded up on our ship. We got another one that's going to be going up probably later tonight, just on the normal freight elevator. And what would stop us from just putting certain goods inside that vehicle?
She scratches her slightly hairy chin and she says, well, you see, I got this non-compete clause. So I'm thinking
see.
maybe, I hope you'd understand, I don't really want to, don't need to try to reveal all the intricacies of my business. But
Why not? You're going to be leaving, aren't you? Never to look back? How about you spill all the secrets now about how smuggling from to and from Karth works?
nah, I think it'd be worth the price. You won't regret
Thanks.
it.
I
You
think-
give me
I think she's
50,000
right.
credits, I will get this stuff on that cargo, and no one is going to inspect it, and there ain't going to be no problems.
Right. Here's what we're going to do, Alma. I'm going to pay you 25,000 credits now. You're going to work your magic. You want to get to Free City, right?
That's right.
Good plan, because that's where we're heading. And then after we get rid of our stuff, you're going to get a 7% cut. Whatever the profit or revenue we make off of it is.
She tries to count. She's missing some fingers.
Oh,
I'll take it.
Yeah.
You won't regret this. You won't. Do you want me to just start loading up these polyps? And you look in the cradle where the thing is. First of all, the body is starting to decay, right? From the Wegoy back in the ventilation shaft. The polyps, most of them are dead. Oh, there are only 4 viable polyps left.
That's all right. We'll just take what we got. We knew that this was a risk when we left him behind here out in the desert. Yep, we're gonna put her to work. She's gonna do her part in all this, and we just start loading things up.
and I turn to I kind of lean into I lean into Ross. I kind of. So what's to stop us from like stuffing her in the low berth and keeping her there once we get to Free City?
Okay. What stops us from doing that is called
Yeah.
basic human decency.
I
It's the fact
mean,
that we're all
integrity,
working
man.
together. We
We got
need a more
integrity.
we need a
Sorry, I
more
didn't-
compelling reason than that to end a life or to highly jeopardize a life, especially someone who's been willing to work with us. Trust me,
Fair.
we're to
Okay, fair.
rule of thumb in the life of a traveler, make as few enemies as possible. You might
Fair,
think
that's fair.
that
That's fair.
No,
That's
I'm also
fair.
reading your
Well, we gotta
mind. She
fair.
starts loading up the polyps and she's dragging the alien body and she's like, I know a buyer, by the way. I know a good one.
On Free City. On
Yeah.
Free City.
That's right.
Okay.
And she's dragging the alien and
Already
stuffing
one of
it
my
in
favorite crew members I've ever had.
And yeah.
You know what? You know what? If you continue to do a good job for us, we might take you on.
That'd be good. You won't regret that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
She
You
looks
don't
at
know
y'all.
us.
She's missing teeth and figures. She's like, I got standards. She gets in the
I
tank
bet you
and
do.
straps down the.
I'll be a little discreet. It's Radamant is your character, Eddie?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say to him,
Radamant.
don't get her hopes up.
I try. You know, she just.
No, I'm serious.
the-
Like, I do
the
not
lady-
want her to have to use that anti-hijacking software, alright?
Okay, where do you go from here?
Ladies just can't. They can't resist me. It's my charm.
Alright, we load up our stuff onto the ATV. We're gonna head back to Larstown. And I think she's gonna call the play on how exactly we're gonna go about making sure that this tank gets up onto our ship with nobody looking at it too closely. I think, like she said, she knows who she has to talk to, whose palms need to be greased to make sure that it goes through smoothly.
Yeah, so I was wrong, and over difficult terrain, it goes at 20 kilometers per hour, which means it'll take 3.2 hours. So you make it about this far, and we're going to do two rolls. No problem. And you make it this far, and we're going to do our last roll. No problem. Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah,
So
so,
I get Solomon up to date on everything as well.
yeah. You get closer to Larstown, and she says, now, once we're already kicking up dust here, so they know you're headed back. I'm a little worried. I think it'll be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm a little worried that they probably might suspect something with you running up to that cave and back. So, what I would suggest is a diversion. Drop me and a couple of you fellers off, and let us go up to the town, and I got a way in. And then we'll grease these palms the way we need to, right? And you take this the way off somewhere else, make a dust trail like you're headed off somewhere else.
That's fine.
And
I
then
can
come
do
back
that.
at night. Now, you have to be driving at night and well into the night, but you'll need to come back right in the middle of the night for this to work, I think.
We could do that.
She
Hold
points.
on.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's just she just wants herself and one or two of us to walk into town on foot, leaving the tank to wait for a while.
Yeah, they want
No, one of
drop
yeah.
drop a couple of you all off and her, and then she says she has some alternate way in, and that you guys would go ahead and like make this arrangement and then wait till nightfall and come back so that they don't suspect that you're coming from the mine.
Okay. I'm trying to work through my head here about ways that this could potentially backfire on us if she's like setting us up for a trap, but I'm like, no, because we'd be leaving all of the valuable stuff out in the desert, and she hasn't gotten
Well-
paid her percentage yet or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'll go with her
Yeah.
plan. Putting a lot of trust in her right now, but I guess this is her moment to prove herself.
Yeah, as you say that and you open the hatch, she's like, 25,000? Well, actually, I need the 50,000 because I got to pay him. Plus, I need my 25,000. That'd be 75,000.
Why don't I go with you then? I got all the cash on me, and we can do this here.
All right, that'll work. And anybody else going with them? I guess you'd
you know
have
what?
one driver and one gunner.
Yeah.
So
We'll keep. I'll keep in the tank and drive around.
okay.
Yeah.
And a
So
gunner.
Solomon and I are gonna go out with her.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys. Oh, so just a driver.
Yeah, I need a gunner.
Okay. All right, Solomon, I'm trusting you. I gotta stick behind with Radamant in the tank.
I won't backstab my best friend.
Okay, so they
Don't
go
let her
on.
backstab you.
They go on to the town. Where do you all go to like make it look like you're
we
going
just-
somewhere else?
We're just, I don't know, go around. Just like we're
Hey,
joyriding almost.
how far away was that big base that was sunken? That Ozymandias reference on my map.
You're pretty close. So it's like 40 kilometers away, which is going to take you 2 hours to get to. And then it'll take you two and a half hours, 3 hours to get back.
Right. What time of day is it now? Like, how much time do we have before nightfall?
Maybe just a few hours. So, maybe
Okay.
4 hours or
Don't
something.
want to go that far.
Yeah, we can go halfway and come back.
Will
Joyride.
be a visible distance from the town, looking like we're just enjoying the local landscape, just on our ATV.
Exactly.
So, all right. So this is going to take 4 rolls. You're kicking up all this dirt. 1. Good. It's good. It's good. You made it. Woo.
Nice.
The thing didn't happen.
The thing.
You make
This
it back at
ominous
night.
thing that we, the players, are dreading, but the characters are blissfully unaware of.
So you make it back. By the way, Solomon, you go into this mechanical Sallyport. You bring down this hatch where vehicles are meant to come in and out of as kind of like a defense mechanism. And you go scurrying through this part of the Undercity and come up, and you meet with Archie and Eli. And they're like, well, if it isn't that old feller's liberator, how's he a-doing anyways?
He's doing good. He's working for us now, and that's actually why we came by. We got something we would need y'all's help with. We heard you were the 2 excellent,
Yeah, we're real excellent, Eli says, and he puts his hands on his hips and looks at
what's her name? Yeah.
sorry.
Oh my, yeah. Alma, right?
Alma. Yeah, Alma.
Alma. Hey.
So, and sees Alma and's like, I guess you've got more business, Alma. And she's like, I know, look, this is last time. I'll make it worth your while. And she's like, Solomon, here, come on, show it to me. Show me the credits.
All right. Well, first we got a little business to take care of. We got something that isn't for anybody else's eyes, and we wanted to cut you 2 in on the deal. If you can help us get it into town.
And Alma's like horrified, and she's like, Solomon, you gotta give me the money. And then these two, they smile, and one of them puts his hand on his holster and is like, it's awfully illegal what you're talking about doing it. Why? I know people are awfully desperate nowadays, and we need to get stuff off world and back on everything. And I just wonder if you have people of Larstown's well-being in mind, really. It takes a lot of money nowadays. Things have gotten real tight, Alma. I think it might need to be double this time. Alma looks like shocked at at Solomon.
Well, we could. I'm not saying we ain't having the hearts and minds of Larstown ain't in mind. That's actually what we're here to do, and he'll show him 25,000 credits.
Make an admin check. Use of the admin skill.
All right. 6 and 2.
6 and 2 is 8, and then you have a total of plus 8 is a 16.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, wait a second. Solomon. Solomon. And what's your first name again? I always keep forgetting. I have to write it down.
That is my first name. It's
Solomon.
my
What's
last
your
name's Dan.
Solomon Dan?
Dan.
Solomon. Are you Admiral Dan?
Well,
He
you
is
could
Admiral
say
Dan.
that.
And then one of them like comes forward and reaches, grabs your hand, shakes it. He's like, "That was the right thing you did. Killing all those people. Why?
They deserved it. It
They
was
held you
war.
back. You should have killed all of them. I know it."
Well, son, if you were there, I'm sure we could have gotten the job done.
That's right. And he goes on about how he wishes he could have been there, but he was in the MEF and like a bunch of excuses and stuff. But like he thinks that you're an indie hero, and that you intentionally betrayed the Federation.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Well, yeah.
Hero
and
of
I'm
Hampton,
looking,
the man they call Jane.
and I'm looking to get some help from you two. I got some cargo that needs to get back to my ship, and I
Admiral,
knew you two would be help.
Admiral, it'd be an awful big honor if we could go with you. Things ain't going too well around here. We'd earn our keep. We got some stuff. We got other stuff we can get on that ship that might be useful to
I
you.
knew it. I knew it. I knew that as soon as I
Well-
brought up the hijacking obstacle, Ross was going to start trying to load NPCs up onto my boat. People I
Well,
don't know,
you
I
know-
haven't vetted, I can't trust.
He says, if you don't even have to worry about paying. You let us in on the job, pay us as crew members. Let us join you. We'll prove our worth. I guarantee it, Admiral.
Well, what can you do on a ship? I know you were part of the MEF, but what skills do you got?
Well, I can shoot people. I use guns. I use a bunch of guns. We have a bunch of guns. We can get them on the ship, and armor too.
Armor, you say?
And we can learn. We can learn to space.
You can learn the space. Okay.
We could be
I
travelers.
can. You want to be traveler? All right. You know what?
We can
You-
work vac suits. We could do EVA work.
All right. All right. This sounds good. How do we get all this to the ship? And you can work directly under me, doing whatever I do, and I'll teach you.
All right. Yeah, that ain't gonna be a problem, Admiral. We're gonna get this on your ship tonight. Me and Eli will be going up there ourselves. EVA. We'll get this on your ship. No problem. And then, of course, so you work it out. These guys come back. And yeah, when you come back, Captain, you find that there are 2 more people that want to join your ship.
We're getting a crew together, okay, Cap? Like, this was the only way to do this for free. And
Okay, well,
they
just to be
might,
clear,
they might pan
every
out. If they don't,
firearm-
we'll shoot them in the back.
every firearm goes in the ship locker as a standard operating procedure. Nobody has access to it except for us till the end of the
What
voyage.
We're
You
the
don't
only
think I
ones that
know
can carry.
that?
We're the only ones that can carry firearms.
Well,
In fact,
yes,
I might be
sir.
more comfortable if you guys also put those in the locker.
What? I've not shot anyone yet.
I know, but I don't want someone to bop you on the head when your back is turned and then take your gun.
All right. So you guys go up the passenger one. They grease everything kind of behind the scenes with the MEF. You get the sense that Archie and Eli, this was probably the last time they were going to be dirty with the MEF too. They were trying to get out of here right along with Alma. And
Oh, poor people. They're gonna die horribly next session, I bet.
and so they go up, and in fact they say, it might be best, Captain, we just stay on your ship and not come back down. Talking about Archie and Eli, because they're under the illusion that they're gonna get to stay as crew members. We'll see what happens. But everybody has to get their vac suits on, and you have to go EVA, and then you come back to your tethered ship, and you go inside, and for the first time in a long time, the better part of a month, you have recycled air with pure, basic, clean 1G gravity and standard atmosphere at 2.9 or 9 or 2 inches of mercury and 10, 15 hectopascals, whatever it is. Nice, clean pressure, 1G, and that metallic, sterile, hospital-smelling air again.
Solomon, for the first time since he's been here,
Actually,
is at ease.
I actually have my a barometer on my watch. It's pretty interesting.
Archie and Eli, you can begin your unpaid internship. I want you to show me the first steps of traveling. You know, prove yourselves to me that you know what you're doing and that you're worthy members of this crew.
They,
well,
oh,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
teach him a thing or two. That was part of the
Well,
package deal
we
here.
got to calibrate where they're currently at first. I want to see what they're made of.
True.
I'm fully prepared to be completely disappointed.
Previous. Trying to find a token I can plop down here. I'll use Velez for right now because I don't have anything. Velez and
It's like our standard male NPC, right?
Isabella,
It's that 70s mustache. Yeah.
Isabella's got that, like, whatever that's called. Anyways.
It's common. It's common in Traveler for everyone to have the same mustache.
Right?
All the Lando
can't
Calrissians running around.
Can't trust a man that ain't got a
Exactly.
mustache like that.
All the Lando Calrissian, all the Burt Reynolds.
Yes. If
Hey,
people
did we
look
buy-
like Burt Reynolds, he's a bad guy.
Did we buy cowboy hats?
Yeah.
You have one cowboy
yeah.
hat, only one.
Damn.
It's my
But
cowboy hat. It
but
matches
you
my
can't
black
say
outfit.
what you do with it yet because we don't know what's going on yet. We don't know if
Yeah.
you like lose it in a gun battle.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have
no.
the captain's 10-gallon hat
Yeah, that's
this
true.
week. I'll
Okay, so
We share the hat. It's the captain's hat.
so the problem is here's good news and bad news is Archie and Eli are trained. They are trained medics and have gun and vac suit skills. I will let you treat them as stewards, as cargo crew chiefs. So I'm breaking the rules, but I insist on it because of my idea of how a steward works in this situation. They wouldn't be able to handle passengers. Alma has admin 3. She has some gun skills I'll mention later, and they all have armor, like cloth armor. And anyways, so you have what you need, I think. Yeah, you have what you need as well. I didn't figure that. Believe me, I rolled this. I rolled Alma. I swear, she's right here. That's wild. The other two, though, that just kind of made sense to me. So, but yeah, that's what you need. You need space. So, let's start with taking off. You get back into your crew stations, and
Who's piloting?
yeah, actually, this is a good question. Who's doing what? I think Radamant has to pilot, don't he? Because he's only has pilot, so
Yeah.
he can't do the other crew stations.
I mean, I can do electronics. I have electronics 1.
Yeah, but if you
I don't think there is a
Yeah.
station that corresponds to that, is there?
yeah, so
I mean,
there-
is there any skill needed for stewarding?
I will say that, but what I will bend is I'll say that they don't have to have Steward 1 to do it. And my reasoning is that they are acting as crew chiefs. They're acting as load experts, and they're the ones managing the cargo and the cargo bay. However, yeah, Radamant would have to be the pilot because the other 2 stations have to be filled by Chapman and Solomon. So, who's going to be the navigator? And who's going to be the engineer? Both of those require rolls. Pilot doesn't make any rolls.
I can be engineer. I got engineer 5 or engineering 5.
Yeah, you go for the engineering and I'll do the other one.
I'll be your Geordie, okay? Don't worry about it.
All right. So you
I'll
set
be the
everything
Wesley
up.
Crusher.
Oh god.
Begin a departure from Karth from the tether, and your two crew people, Archie and Eli, they manage the comms for that. They tell you to let them do that, and they talk to someone on the planet. Everything gets logged. No questions asked. Karth begins to get smaller and Tiburnus begins to get larger. Now, how much fuel did you have after your first job? Where you went to the gas giant to pick that boat up? Did you get fuel after that?
I don't recall if it was covered in session, and if that would have been mentioned in job results. Is it too much to say that we would have gotten some unrefined fuel from the gas giant after we finished that job?
If you didn't mention it, I'm going to say that you have to skim.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how risky it is to just have unused fuel rotting away in the tank while it was up there in the docks, so we can go ahead and grab some now. I think makes sense.
Alrighty. So, okay, so you're going to do a skim, and you have to get within a safe jump distance of a gas giant, which is at 5 million kilometers. Let's see. Safe jump distance from a large gas giant is 12 hours away. So you're going to have to travel 1 day to skim and come back.
Right.
All right. So here we go. That 1 day requires a starship encounter roll. Let's see here. Starship encounter, you got a 7. 7. Or are we... There is a ship that hails you.
Do we detect the ship at all?
Yeah, it announces itself. It is, and this is about halfway through your journey when you're going to skim. Maybe stating the obvious, but for you guys, there are 2 ways to get fuel in this game. All fuel is based on the hydrogen molecule. However you get that. There's 2 ways to do it. You can get it refined by purchasing it directly, or you can skim it from water or gas giants or other celestial bodies with vapor that has hydrogen in it. And so anyways, gas giant's the most common thing when you enter a solar system. And this scout ship is greater than, it's about 500,000 kilometers away. And it says, hail there, trader. You got a friendly port there in Karth? They got any needs? Let a lonely scout crew, private scout crew, getting to drop by, rest our feet.
Yeah, we'll answer them. Should it specifically be Solomon, since he's sitting at the sensors and communication station?
I'll leave that up to you all, whoever wants to talk to him.
I'll just say howdy. I'll identify ourselves. We're the Lucky Yo. We're just coming up from there. I gotta tell you, they certainly make you feel comfy if you like karaoke bars and not taking a shower very regularly.
I see. Well, I guess there won't be any showers for us then. Not too great of a shower here on this scout vessel. We're the flipping around here. Cancel. Back. suitably Star Wars. We're the Far Star.
Ooh.
And private scout vessel here. Just trying to find some work. Do you think they might have any work for a scout vessel? We can do mining work. We can do surveys.
If you know anything about prospecting, that's kind of the main industry there.
Oh, so we'll just land our ship there on the planet.
No.
I would recommend you go through the proper channels. They have a very strict in and out system for anybody who's visiting.
Huh. Well, that's
And-
silly of them. I don't see no patrol vessel or no ship's monitor. Ha! Well, they should. I'd like
I
to
don't
see them
know-
try to do something about it. Well, you know what? I tell you what. I think I might just do that. Just to. I don't like being told what to do. Actually, look. That's why he goes into a diatribe. That's why I bought a scout vessel. Now look, I worked with the Federation for years, and I got told, well, there's so much red tape. We got this scout vessel, and by God, we can land on any planet we want.
No, Farstar, I
I'm
implore
tired.
you, please do not. Do not.
I'm just about headed up to here with all this red tape. Why, it's taken over this solar system. You come all the way out here, he just keeps going.
Heed
on
our
this
warning.
diatribe.
We're not kidding. You will be nuked.
I'd like to see him try. I got a pulse laser here, just waiting for somebody like that to do that. I don't see any monitor ships in here. Why, we've got a military-grade sensor suite. I can see everything, and they ain't got nothing that's gonna stop me. Well,
You don't
anyways,
see
they're
the
not.
orbital cannon?
I'm just about pissed right off with all this red tape and these bureaucrats around this place. We're gonna land this sucker on that planet. Thank you for the heads up there, Lucky.
Farstar, don't say we didn't warn you. If something goes wrong and there manage to be survivors, feel free to send out an SOS. We'll be in the neighborhood right around the corners. Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Star disappears from radar.
It's better than pirates, I guess.
Yeah.
You skim.
Well, you know,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
could we scan their ship when we were talking and see what they had in case, we come across their wreckage?
They were a type, the scout vessel, a basic scout vessel. Scout Type S. It looked like they had made a civilian version of a military scout vessel that they'd either stolen, frankly, or had eventually been released from Federation service after a long period of time.
Oh God, so nothing of note, so we can just skip by their remains when we travel around.
All right.
There's the Far Star.
So, eventually you're able to skim and start making it away. You kind of use the gravity of Tiburnus to, slingshot back out into orbit and back on the other side would be the best way to, you would have to go back another day to check on the Far Star, essentially.
No. We did our best.
Okay. So, you have skimmed. Now there's several things that happen. This is a place where... Oh, actually, I have it right here. Now it takes you the rest of the day to get to a safe jump distance. So it's taken 24 hours. So I assume you guys are probably on 6-hour watches or something, I don't know. And, but eventually you make it to... sorry. Oh, let's see. Billion kilometers. It takes you a full day. So you get out to that 10 million kilometer safe jump distance, and yeah, what do you do?
Well, I think we would have generated a flight plan to jump in system towards Free City, so yeah, I guess if we're a safe distance, we're gonna punch it.
Okay.
All right.
So, as we're jumping, I try to get the, I talk to the smuggler a little bit.
Yeah, you have 168 hours on board, so you can absolutely.
Yeah, I tell her
do
my,
that.
I tell her my story. No, she tells me hers.
She says, "Well, to be honest, I was a little girl back when Lars. And she takes off her hat.
Oh,
10 years ago, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I was a little girl when they came and colonized the place. I was. Things started drying up not too long after I started prospecting. Things ain't been going too good on Karth.
Like what? What happened? How did it start going downhill for Karth?
She points at you. Now,
Mm.
I've heard of you. They said you're that admiral, the butcher of, what's the name of that battle?
The Battle of Urim.
Butcher of Urim, they call you. You killed all those people. They say you're a
Don't listen
monster.
to-
You're a psychopath. That you just snapped and became a murderer. You don't look like a
listen
murderer.
I'm not. And I was following orders. Don't listen to what the reports say. There was a lot more to it than just what they exclaim.
Hey, I'll go ahead and try to hijack the conversation from everyone just to make sure it's clear what goes on in this ship. This is a place for new beginnings. You guys said that you wanted to, never look back at Karth anyway, otherwise you wouldn't be on board this vessel right now, so whatever whatever the admiral may or may not be guilty of, whatever war crimes he may or may not have committed, we've all got our ugly pasts. It's all right.
Eli steps in. He's like, he ought to be proud of what he did. The Federation is a lie.
I'm actually going to try to pull Archie and Eli away and ask her, are either of you two good in the kitchen at all? Come on, we're gonna get together. Try to make some kind of a meal for the whole crew, since this is their first time joining, and trying to make sure that they're like properly acclimated to this here.
Archie's like, I love cooking. I love cooking. Let me at it, Captain. Let me cook.
I send them that way and away from the political debate.
Yeah.
This is your way. This is the anti-hijacking speech that you're putting on.
right.
Well, more like trying to divert anybody's what's going on in their heads away from any such notions. Make sure that everybody feels like they're a member of this crew as quickly as possible.
Alma, she says, I know I'm an old lady now. I'm 37 years old.
Wow.
She looks like she's like 78. And she's like, but I was a young lady once, but I don't know nothing about this Federation stuff. I know these big companies came in together and they formed a Federation decades ago, and I know that there was that big war and everything, but look, Manny ain't got nothing to do with that stuff. On Manny, we worship the great tide, the ocean that gives to everyone. Everything is a tide. Everything flows with the tide that gifts and takes away. And well, anyways, I don't know nothing about that Federation stuff. And Mr. Solomon, if you tell me that you ain't no murderer, I didn't mean no offense by it. Yeah, well, things started getting worse in the past few years, and then old man Lars died, and I didn't try to get in no trouble or nothing, but things just got awfully tight, so I figured out people needed things, and I started getting things going and coming.
Hmm.
And that's about it.
Wow.
I really ain't never left that world ever since I came from Manny when I was a little girl.
Well, we might be able to do something to help Karth out. And that's why we needed all this off-ship, or into the ship, off-world.
Well, I don't know about that, but to be honest with you, I don't want anything to do with Karth again. I don't know. I don't mean no offense, Mr. Solomon, but I don't know that there ain't anything you can do about Karth. I think it pretty much is done for.
We confiscated all of these dangerous drugs so that nobody would be taking them.
And these dangerous tanks.
And Archie pokes his head in. And the 2 carts of assault rifles and body armor.
Yeah!
Oh yeah!
See, we're cleaning up Karth.
Right, taking all the heavy weapons out.
Yeah, Archie
Come on,
and
you
Eli
boys.
have loaded you all up with ammunition and assault rifles and body armor. There's enough to arm the entire crew with assault rifles, body armor, and submachine guns and
Nice.
pistols.
Nice. They stole the armory.
Anyways, 168 hours pass, and
Oh, what did they cook for their first family meal for the crew?
Grilled cheeses.
yeah, let me look it up.
And are they actually competent at this, or are they merely enthusiastic? Because there's a difference. I say to my 2 true crew members, you don't know what it was like, but back in the day we had a lower ranked crew member we brought on who was a I can't think of what they're called, the dog race.
Oh yeah, the Varger.
Thank you, the Varger. And I have never trusted anyone more in my entire life.
So, it's this. It looks kind of like what's that? Cranberry sauce, but the gelatinous stuff is just like
Oh yeah.
the alien fat and gristle of a creature, and it's a protein base of lumpy red chunks that are floating in that
Oh.
fat gelatin, and it has an acrid smell like vodka, like
Oh.
like that.
Like head cheese.
Just like Grandma
I
used
know.
to make.
It's there's something like that. It's called souse.
Oh, I
It's
love
called
souse. I love
Souse
souse.
or head cheese.
Man, I
Oh.
love souse. I don't know what head
Oh,
cheese
man.
is, but dang,
it's same thing.
souse loaf. He's got
Souse, yeah.
he's got some space souse.
That sounds
Let
rough.
me tell you
Russ,
let me tell
was
y'all
that-
what
was
souse
that-
is. Souse
Was that you, or was that Archie and Eli who just
That
played
was
that?
character, and we got some immersion going on there. So let me tell you what souse is. Souse. So you have the parts of the pig that are real yummy, right? Like you've got like the hock and the
Yep.
blah blah blah. They'll cut up the pig and they'll have a bunch of leftover parts and they'll put it in a grinder, like the ears and the nose and the toes and the weird stuff.
Yep.
And that is souse. And then they'll pickle it, and boy, it's good. And now I want some.
It's not good.
I do like
It's
souse
very
loaf.
Now I like pawn hoss and scrapple.
This is a conversation between Archie and
Radamant.
Radamant. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
everybody else can enjoy their food while they're having this conversation about the various
I'm-
alien protein parts they like.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And And anyways, here we are back in space. Oh, weird. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Went in the wrong way.
Here we go. Miss jump. Speaking of miss jumps,
Oh, no.
I need a roll from... Now, this is very unlikely, but I like to have the rolls anyways. From the engineer, first of all.
Oh,
roll
okay.
2d6. And you want to roll low, but it's probably impossible to...
I was gonna say,
I'll throw out the mechanics as we go here.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I got a 3.
3. Yeah, you aced it. So once per week, which is so like when you are in Starship, whether jumping or interplanetary, on a 13 plus, which I'm going to be a pedant. You did not choose to refine the fuel.
Oh God.
Which is fine. But you had a +1, so had you rolled a straight 12, you would have had a drive failure. And it would have kicked the drive off, and you would have had problems. But you rolled low, piece of cake, you got it. And also, I think you are like an unreasonably good engineer, which makes it impossible. I think it's like nearly impossible to try to...
Yeah, I got engineer 5, so.
So you picked a good crew position. Now, navigator, roll a 2d6. You do not want to roll a 12.
We fly straight into a planet. So there you go.
I got a total of 5.
5. All right. Had you rolled a 12 with a +1 from unrefined fuel, you would have misjumped, and you would have appeared in a random parsec around you somewhere. You did get to a safe jump distance. I don't know if I specified that or you or both, but we did talk about that. And then lastly, if you're in different types of ships, it affects that. So here you are. And otherwise, you always automatically jump a safe diameter or approximately 5 hours from landing. And I should have you on the side of Free City, actually. Now, you arrive at Free City 168 hours later. You've got half your fuel tank gone there, but I believe that still allows for jump 1. So I think the fuel is different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll look at that later. But anyways, what do you do as soon as you come out of jump?
Well, now is there somewhere that we could refuel at Free City or Heaven's Edge, or is that going to be?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, because so Free City is based on this, so you know that it has a Type B starport.
Right. Okay.
Unless you get there and there's some kind of crisis. That happened one time to you all, where the place didn't have fuel and another one had a thing going on. But yeah. So from here, as soon as you leave jump, you can... I'll bring the checklist up. It says you can scan an area for potential danger, problems, and other data and figure out what's around you. Then set a course in system. It doesn't have it listed here, but you can declare the software package that you want to put in prior to the first round. Otherwise, you'll have whatever you left jump with.
I actually do have. I made a handful of software loadouts for different situations. I've already planned in mind.
Nice.
Which in this case, I think, since we're now exited jump, we'll just do like the standard combat one that I have set up, just in case somebody comes around the corner and attacks us. But yeah, we would do like normal scans, and unless anything's out of the ordinary, I think just try to arrive at the starport.
Okay, based on your normal scans, the gas giant Tiuncum is probably the better part of a couple of days away. Without looking at it, might be here or there, either side of that. And Vespidia Station is actually on the far side and occluded from that. You can tell that it's cresting the other side of Tiuncum on the day side. And the Free City planet is on the night side, and it is entering nighttime. And Heaven's Edge Highport is also showing up on your scanner, on your sensors. And meanwhile, rolled a 9 on a starship encounter. It is a starship type B. And let's see. A ship appears. Danger close. It seems it had been floating there waiting. And all of a sudden your systems come online. Let's see here. That something is locked onto you.
Oh boy.
And you're being hailed.
Uh-oh.
All right, we answer. Howdy.
Howdy, y'all.
This is the Valhalla. Shut down your systems. Bring your engines to idle. Do not die for the planet or we will fire and turn you into molten slag.
Would it be safe to assume that they were gonna want to hijack our ship and our cargo, or might there be some other motivation?
Oh, they're obviously pirates.
Yeah, okay. Can we pick up anything about the type of ship that we're dealing with, what they're armed with, what kind of class it is?
You're immediately able to determine that they are a 400-ton, 400-ton merchant trader, similar to the August Gold that you flew to Walston on initially.
Do we have any weapons on this ship?
We do. Not amazing. We have a pulse laser and we have a sandcaster. We can't use them both in the same turn because they share one turret, but pulse laser would do a little bit of damage if we hit. I think that these guys are maybe smart enough that they would back off after getting hit once, like any reasonable person in a starship combat. The sandcaster is just a defensive mechanism against if they hit us with like a missile or something like that.
What if we just bait them in and then blast them when they're close?
I think it would be taking a lot of fire from them and the time it would take for us to close that gap between us.
No, he's saying you go ahead and shut your stuff down and then ignite it and then start shooting as they get close.
Yeah, when they get close, they're going to want to board us to take our goods and whatever else. Wait until they're close enough and then just start blasting.
Maybe. How, Russ, does that sound like a feasible thing? Could we like fire this thing up within a span of a few minutes?
Yeah, let me turn that into a game. So here's the good news and the bad news, right? The bad news is that if you do that, I will put them in the position of the intruder. That means they'll be able to act first. Now, you might be able to, how you deal with that, or if you come up with a plan with that, or whatever is up to you. But what my thought of that is, that's you bringing everything back online and then locking onto them and firing. So I'll just say that they are the intruder in that scenario.
So if we did that, they would then get a turn to respond before we could actually make our attempt to hit them.
Unless you come up with some way to keep them from doing that.
Okay. I will try something, just one ploy on the comms before. So there's how much of a delay is there between messages being sent at this distance?
Let's see, at 150,000 kilometers. We're talking at this distance, so maybe a minute, less than that, 30 seconds maybe.
Okay. I'll say over the comm, we will turn off our systems and let you board if you're willing to take up a challenge to a duel. Your weapon of choice, your captain versus our captain.
He laughs. We were going to do that anyway, fool. Milk drinker. See you soon.
I by the way, I'm speaking in Old Norse or New Norse when I say all that, just to be clear.
New Old Norse, Old
That
New Norse.
affects
Which one? I don't know.
Reconstructed Old Norse.
So I see what you're doing. I will say that this will allow you I'll give you a plus your gunner skill, even though you don't have gunner interact. So I'll give you that bonus. So whoever's the gunner can do that.
Can Archie or Eli, would either of them be qualified on our guns?
They are not qualified on guns. I'll give them a -1, which will just be a flat 8 in this case.
I got a.
How about any of you guys?
Gunnery 2.
You have gunnery
You're our
too?
guy.
Yep, you're a dude.
All right. With gunnery 2, that gives you with -1 for pulse lasers is +1. So it's 2d6 to get an 8 at a I'm sorry, 2d6 to get 8, and you add +1 to the result.
Okay, so you want me to roll that now?
Yeah, if you're gonna wait and then distract them, try to shoot them, you can do that.
All right. Ooh, that is 9 on
9.
the dice.
All of a sudden, like the ship systems come online, and you start firing the pulse laser at near point-blank range for a pulse laser in space. They're probably 10,000 kilometers out. It takes about 100 milliseconds now to get a signal back and forth. Each round, I think, is 6,000 seconds. Something like that. 6 minutes or so. And anyways, roll a 2d6 for your hit location against the enemy.
Okay. 6.
6. You hit their hull. I think that doesn't affect anything yet. Hull decompresses the ship. On their side of the ship, you would know, as you can see, like the sit registers, you can see that, like, anyone, they're probably already in their vac suits and stuff. If somebody wasn't in a vac suit, or if they weren't secure, they'd go flying out of the ship. These are experienced spacers, and that doesn't happen. It is their turn. But wait a second. Now the intruder will act. So I'm going to go back. They're going to move. Intruder laser fire, so they're going to get a chance to shoot. I'm going back to the top of the round because you kind of got a surprise. 9, they hit. They hit your fuel.
We should have auto evade. Would that make a difference?
Oh, it does. Auto evade is at -2. They miss. With auto evade on, you're like.
Thank goodness. Yes.
Oh,
I'll say
man.
this now: we have maneuver, auto evade, anti-hijack, target, and for our 5th slot, I just have jump 1 in there. Nobody touch that. That's for if we need to make an emergency, just jump in a random direction.
Wow. Don't touch that button, Archie.
I guess in this case, since we're still in system, we know exactly where we would jump to if we had to, like, flee in an emergency.
Okay, so no, if you don't have a flight plan generated, I will make it random. So you will have to generate a flight plan.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
so
Well,
here we go. So the next thing is native laser return fire. So it says that if you have a return fire program, you can return fire. Do you have that?
do not.
Okay, they do not have missiles and you don't. So they are not going to change their programming. You may now move. Do you try to change your vector in relation to them? You're now you're currently matching V and heading toward the planet, and you are 4 hours away from the planet.
And are we like point blank range from them with our pulse lasers?
Yeah, this is just yeah, that's true. Yes, you are.
I don't think we're gonna outrun these guys, gang, but I do think we have a decent chance of hitting them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that might be good enough to get them to fuck off.
Or die.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's see. Native laser fire. You can fire again there, Solomon.
Okay. Could I try and aim for their weapons, or is that just not possible?
I don't think so. I could be
Okay.
We would
wrong.
need extra software that's I think
It
we
is.
would
I
need
think you're
software
right.
that's
There is a
supposed to
software
do
thing for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just aim and see where I land.
Oh, I forgot to mention you can launch sand on this round. You have 5 canisters, I think, if you wanted
As
to.
well.
Well, you said they didn't have missiles, right? Or at least they weren't.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
can
sand's
also.
just laser.
Yeah. Right.
I will launch sand then.
Right, it's for lasers. God.
Okay. Yeah, and then on top of that, you can still fire. What'd you get on your to hit roll?
7.
7, and your, let's say 7 minus 1 is 6. You miss. Okay. I think we're just going to start trading licks until you tell me that you want to try something else.
Okay.
So they rolled an 8. However, with auto evade -2 and obscuring sand, it's at -5 for a 3.
Oh God.
And total of 2 because it's a pulse laser. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so you can fire back. You can also fire. You only have 5 more canisters, or 4 more. You can fire another sand canister if you want.
Is the sand canisters only good for one round
Yeah, that's right.
of fire? Okay, so sand canister, and then ooh, I got an 11.
11 hits. Roll 2d6 for damage. Location.
That is an 8.
An 8 is in the ship's hold. It
Oh,
says,
God.
Oh, hold.
you hit their hold and you see a bunch of stuff go flying out. It looks like their ill-gotten gains are being vented into space now. I'm going to make them
could I-
make a check. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask to hail them.
Yeah, they are not liking this, and they do hail you, and they say, Lucky yo, it's clear that... And he's like bleeding and choking and stuff, and things have flown around, and Fod has like ripped open spacesuits. He's like, it's clear this is not working. Perhaps we could rearrange that fight for another day.
Tell him
I'll
that.
respond.
Tell him we're boarding now. And
No.
drop seats left.
I reassure him in Norse. The honorable warrior knows when to admit that another is stronger and uses that to motivate himself for next time. You know.
All right.
This has been a sporting match we've just had. I say, fearing for my life.
I kind of want to take one last pot shot when they get ready to leave.
No.
Oh, no.
They eventually leave your radar range. It's only like 150k for a free trader.
Is their cargo still floating out in space?
It is. I've good news and bad news. Okay. The bad news is, didn't your fuel get hit? Yeah, I didn't resolve that.
Yeah.
Our fuel's hit. We're leaking.
Each fuel hit punctures a fuel tank and releases 10 tons of fuel. I think
Oh, God.
you have. Let me see here. You jumped and you have. You might have more. I need to check this, but essentially you have lost 10 tons of fuel. I'm going to write this down.
We have 30 tons fuel tankage. How much is consumed by doing a jump?
I think it's like half.
Okay.
That's the basics of that. And I could be wrong.
So
I'll check.
15
So-
tons if half, and then
Yeah,
minus.
assuming it's half, we were down to 15, and that just took out another 10, so we should have 5 tons left. Definitely not enough to make a jump. Is that enough for us to just like cruise on back towards Karth?
Or to the Freetown.
Yeah,
Or
you have enough
Freetown.
fuel. Yeah, you have enough fuel for like 2 weeks of operations.
We can get the Free
Okay.
Planet.
Yeah, hopefully we can get this all. We can refuel here at Free City and get this all patched up. But just in case, I wanted to know if we had no other choice but to just, thrust our way back to Karth. We would still have enough.
Should we see if we could retrieve their cargo that they dropped?
Yeah. Sorry. So I was gonna say good news and bad news. So the bad news, and I may be kind of getting my Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition mixed up here. I think I might be, and we can check it later, or somebody can check me, but I don't see anything that says that you have damage costs. So it might be assuming that you're just going to repair them, if you have damage that way. I will look that up later.
I see a section on damage control, repair parts. It mentions some prices. We can talk about that later, though.
Okay, so that's the bad news is, that damage to a ship, if it's like Mongoose, will be devastating. Be like a lot of money. The good news is you get random cargo. So let's figure out how much cargo and how much cargo you can take on. Captain, would you please roll 2d6s?
I got a 1 and a 4.
A 1
If
and
you
a
add them
4.
together, that should be 5.
Oh, that's sad. Roll I'll tell you why in a second. Roll 2d6 now. You'll add this one together.
7.
A 7. There are 70 tons of wood on board.
Wood. Seriously,
lumber.
wood pirates?
They had 70 tons of wood.
They're
a
lumber
single,
I mean,
pirates.
We have about 42 tons of cargo capacity. I don't know if we want 40 tons of wood.
so
It's free wood.
40,
It might be valuable wood.
that would be 40,000 credits at its base price to have that wood on board.
I mean,
You think-
it's free wood. It's free. It might be.
Okay. If we can turn it around, we can make some money because it is free cargo. Otherwise, we're just going to dump it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you said it's 40 tons that you're able to put on board?
We have, I think, because each tank is 10 tons, and we have 4 of those, so we should have 42 tons worth of cargo capacity left over. So we're just going to load up 40 tons of wood and have 2 tons wiggle room.
Okay.
Are there laws, like salvage laws?
Yeah, they are. There are. It's finders keepers.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ancient sea laws still apply out here in space. Let's see here. I'm looking for the income, and you make it to Free City. And you come in, you do your approach clearance to the low port, and
Nobody tell them.
they give you a basic clearance.
We can use all that wood to construct our triad base.
Yes. You build a house.
All right, so we have we only got oh gosh.
We'll try to be fast about this. I mean, Alma should help us speed this up, right? She says that she knows some people.
Yes, so indeed, she's able to connect you with a broker and a buyer. And what's better, I had some things prepared here, but they would have led you into further intrigues potentially. Having her, this is an illicit buyer. It's illegal.
Ooh.
Now, there are some mechanics for this. Okay, so
we can get combat dresses.
a couple of things happen in the attempt. Do you go with her buyer? Sounds like that's what you're going to go with. So, when you arrive on a world, have a encounter routine, encounter procedures, and one of them is called. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I got it too. You throw daily for legal. Okay, so I have to look at the UPP for the planet. is Infall.
Difficulty 90.
Infall. Let's see. Size is 8. Atmosphere. Hydro. Op. Law level 1. Okay. No problem. All you gotta do, Solomon, is not roll snake eyes. All you gotta do is roll. I'm sorry, actually, let me make sure it's a D6. So, legal. So that has to be 2d6. Yeah. So all you got to do is not roll snake eyes on 2d6.
Okay. And my admin is +8, so.
But you wouldn't add this modifier for here. This is I'm having you kind of do a referee roll. Is to see if this is to see if the law takes an interest in you.
So roll high is good. Okay. So
Yes.
let's see here. Okay, that's a 6 and well, wouldn't you know it, 12.
A 12. No problem. You're able to make this shady meeting take place, and you do, and you have a bunch of wood. You can try to clean up and sell all this here and now as Solomon. So you find a shady dealer here on the planet, and you are going to try to sell them high on these. You can sell the tanks, the drugs, and the wood all in one go if you wish. It'll be 3 different rolls, and I will now reveal to you, they'll tell you, one of those polyps is worth 4 million credits as a base price.
I just want to
Base
say,
price.
if it would improve our chances of selling the drugs, the polyps, and all that, then we would sweeten the deal by throwing in the wood for free.
It's
Exactly,
mahogany,
yeah.
right? Or is this
We will
just
sacrifice that third potential exchange if we could instead make it something that would give us a bonus on that first, more higher priority one.
we'll give them the mahogany for free if they buy the drugs?
You can also look for a broker and a go-between for these drug dealers.
Oh, and that would give us a better.
But you'll lose. It will give you a better roll, but you already have like a +8, and you will lose 20% of that, whatever it is, 16 million credits.
What do we-
Yeah, I'll just
we
do it
have like a-
myself and see if I can get
Yeah,
at
you're
least
qualified.
20 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
So I'll make you a deal. If you throw in those tanks and that wood, I'll give you a +1. We're talking 16 million credits here.
That works
For,
for me.
hold up, and throwing in the tanks?
Which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah, we didn't get much for the
200,000, you know, so which with a plus
God,
5%
all of
is
our
20% of 14 million.
Startup materials for the space triads are tanks, the drugs, and the wood. Like, come on, guys. But all right.
I mean, we could, you know,
All right,
we
so
could buy more tanks.
he says
Karth.
these polyps, if I find the right person to give these polyps to, I might keep one of these myself. He licks his lips. Do you know, Solomon? Maybe you give him a fake name. Do you know what this can do? These polyps?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The buyer, he's like, do you know what this polyp can do?
Yes, I do, and that's why I'm demanding a higher price for it. I want 8 million for this polyp.
All right, roll your 2d6. See how you do. You can add your admin bonus.
Okay.
It's 1?
That would be, with my admin bonus, that would be 20. I got a 12.
Oh my god. He's like, then you know. Just one of these polyps turned into a pure strain drug gives a person 20 years of no death. It's a miracle.
If you say so, I've seen these side effects.
Well, what's some side effects for 20 years? This type of drug is the most powerful thing in the galaxy. But it's worth it. So let's see. Here's the payout. 14 million. That's what? No, not 14. 16 million is the base price. I think I may have just broke the game.
That's okay. Keep going.
That's okay.
64
Okay.
million.
64 million?
64 million credits.
All right, so
And
Solomon
that's-
is retiring. He's buying his giant pirate ship, and he'll
Hold
sell
up,
the
hold up.
7 stars.
Is that for the drugs and the tanks and the wood all together?
This is for everything.
All right, that's fine
Wow.
by me. 64 million now.
64
Let's
million.
go ahead and take out 7% for Alma. We have a big
Yeah.
thank you to her. So
That's-
Alma, you're gonna
that's
make off
7
with
credits.
no. I believe Alma should make out with more than 4 million credits.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like, this will change everything. And she looks at the polyps, though. She's like, maybe I should have had one of those. I don't have much time left to spend 4 million credits. You know, y'all were mighty kind people. I wouldn't mind keeping working with you if you'd have me, actually.
Oh, what can you do on a ship?
She's a smuggler.
I'm not much for being able to be a traveler, but I can work deals. Now, this is probably not useful unless Solomon's not there for a session. She's got an admin 3.
Exactly.
I want to explain to Alma and the rest of the crew my own feelings on the matter. I don't like doing high risk trading, even though the payoff can be amazing. I would like to keep things like this little job we had here to only, once every blue moon, if that.
Why?
The thing that's nice about making millions like this is that I can now live a normal life a little more comfortably, a little more, with feeling a little bit more secure in myself, that I don't have to sweat over every single one of my upcoming mortgage payments on the ship. And then can instead focus on doing normal traveling, normal trade with normal cargo without bringing any heat on us.
Yeah, and with
don't-
that, we've actually run out of time. Now, real quick before I end the session, our conventions are, this is separate from what's going on in Karth. You can begin again anywhere you want that you've been. So you can, this would be after Karth. Well, in this case, we'll resume what we were doing at Karth. But if we were doing our normal conventions, you could say, hey, I want to start on Free City, or hey, I want to start on Karth if you have a patron. And actually, I'm sorry, before we go, real quick, you have 2 things that you can do only once per week. The problem, there's a little bit of push your luck here. When you do them, you can get drawn into something you don't want. If you don't do them, you may not be making money. And that is that once per week you can seek 1 roomer, and once per week you can seek 1 patron. If you seek a patron, it's hey, I have a bunch of money and I'm going to give you a job, like a quest, like a big adventure with a big payout, with a big risk. You just had a big payday though, so maybe you don't want to look for a patron right now, So, anyways, do you want to spend this week looking for a patron or for information?
I would like to. I want more black market deals.
Yeah, I want some kidneys to sell.
All right. In that case, you would roll. Let's have I all said Radagast. I'm so sorry.
Wait a
Radamant.
minute.
Radamant, roll a d6. You want to get a 5 or
Okay.
above. That's the only way to get a patron.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, so no jobs. No,
Okay.
that doesn't mean you can't trade or find out what's going on. This is,
Yeah, we could trade.
yeah, and then lastly, 2d6, and you would get a 7+ to find out unique information about something going
Okay.
on. Three, 5. You do not find out. Now you hear plenty of things, but you don't hear some kind of actionable thing that you could go investigate. And with that, we'll end the adventure for the night.